Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1. So you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price of participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is on the way, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue. Metro Transit, Renew the Blue.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Four Sisters Farmers Market is more than a place to shop for delicious organic food. It's a celebration of Indigenous culture, food sovereignty, and community. Now in its 11th season, the market offers healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate local foods every Thursday from 11 to 3. Located on the American Indian Cultural Corridor off Franklin Avenue, Four Sisters Farmers Market is a project of NACDI. Every Thursday now through October, discover more about Four Sisters Farmers Market by visiting NACDI.org. Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. The Minnesota State Fair is packed with 12 days of fun with food, rides, animals, shows, and much, much more. And right in the middle of it all, you'll find Indigenous voices making an impact. Seat the common table for lessons in Indigenous food justice. Visit with Native authors and watch drum groups. Plus, stop by the Native Roots Trading Post back at the West End Market. Tickets are just $17 through August 20th at mnstatefair.org.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 73. Then Friday, partly sunny with a high of 91. There's always something new and exciting coming from Chef Carrie's Kitchen at Nightingale in South Minneapolis on the corner of 26th and Lyndale. Have the famous Nightingale burger and fries, or be adventurous and try the buttermilk fried quail. Check out Nightingale at nightingalempls.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade.
Hey, to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions.
Welcome, everybody. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. Welcome, and I want to just say Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
That's right, Jaji. Hey, this portion of the show is supported by Native Roots Trading Post. Come see myself, Jaji, and the rest of our family 10 days leading up to Labor Day at the Minnesota State Fair.
That's awesome. Hey, we're excited to do that. This is our 4th year, 5th year?
Yes, I had to think about it.
I don't even know. Jeez.
It's funny how they start to blend together, but yeah, I was going through my albums on my phone and just to kind of look at all the different pictures from each year and just the growth that we've had and just the things that we've learned and all I mean, mostly all the wonderful people that have stopped by and supported. I mean, we're so grateful. You're not only supporting myself and Jaji and our family and the next generation, right? You know, the grandbabies, my niece and nephew, but you're also supporting the other artists that we wholesale with. So all Native artists, and come out and see us. It's a great time. Good thing Jelaine and I and Jaji are all extroverted.
Yeah, exactly. I know poor Wendy. She always said that she was an introvert, and then I saw her work every day the fair the first year we were out there, and it was like, oh, she really is an introvert. Because we would Jelaine and I would get pumped up with meeting people and seeing people.
Yep.
And then I saw her just get the opposite, where she would be drained of energy, and we would be getting sucked up with energy and getting
Exactly. You know, both introverts and extroverts need alone time. They need self-care. So I just want to encourage that for everybody. But it's where you gain your energy. And so that's part of the reason why I love being a counselor and love doing jobs that career paths that I engage with other people. I think I would fall asleep if I was sitting in front of a computer all day. But it's amazing those that are introverted and can really focus in and gain that energy when they're by themselves too. So, but for the fair, I would definitely say that comes in handy that, the three of us, my twin sister, myself, and Jaji here, our dad, are very energized by meeting people and connecting and talking to you for, it ends up being about 12-hour days at the fair.
Yeah, it flies. So once 9 hits, but we'll be there an hour earlier than we have in the past because it's opening up an hour earlier.
Yes.
So that'll be really interesting. And also the first 2 days of the fair, I'll be out there live. And I think the Gailey Show is going to do a show at 2 p.m. at our booth. So that'll be great. That'll be interesting. And we'll see what else we can do about getting back out there. But I know the first couple days we'll be out there and enjoying everything. Hey, today's Thursday, and we have our friend Robert Lilligren on. And
hey, Robert.
And the Native American Community Development Institute, NACDI. You've been really practicing that, Robert.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Great to see you twice in 1 day. I see the offices are being worked on. I had the opportunity to interview a couple people down there, and it was really cool. We talked about the magazine that came out and that we talked a little bit about last week, and then also one of your vendors there. Her and her significant other are opening up a store, and they're amazing people. I had no idea, but stay tuned. That's going to be played Monday.
Okay, that's when you're using the interviews? Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, and it's always cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great seeing you. Sorry, I didn't mean to. It was great seeing you today, and the weather was great, and there was a lot of action at the Four Sisters Market, and we're always excited to be there, promote that, and see people in the community hanging out, and it just was great.
Yeah, it was great. It was always good to see you there. It was a really good day at the market. Got a little warm towards the end, but I'll take this weather and air quality over, say, last week's. And one of the cool crossovers today was with our Make Voting a Tradition, which does civic engagement, voter outreach, voter registration. And there's an opportunity for people to share their food access experience. How do you get your food? Is it easy? Is it good food? So they shared that. And then people were given T-shirts and opportunities for some really nice prizes. But I don't know if you got your T-shirt, Robert.
What do you think, Robert?
Because, yeah, knowing you probably got several.
Yeah.
First one in line.
Yeah.
Right. And this is artwork from our last election cycle. If you look in the corner, it says vote. And then food is political. And I think that's really good for our community, or for everyone to think of it as a political thing. I mean, that relates to everyone's day to day, right? Everyone's daily lives.
Food is political. So true.
Yeah, I know. And that was cool. I answered mine is the cost of food and also the healthiness of the food.
Mm-hmm.
because of all the chemicals that have been put in since we've been kids, Robert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was kind of in radio broadcasting, and he was the agricultural director at WCCO Radio for years. Yeah, and he was very informed, and of course this was pre-internet when you actually had to go find information. And he used to tell me when we were teenagers, when I was maybe high school age, so back in the mid 70s, and he would say, he said, one of the reasons we enjoy the quality of life that we do in this country is because the accessibility of good, cheap food, right? And he said, but that's changing. He said, this is, 50 years ago. And he said, as more and more corporations take over farming and food supply and food chain, healthy food will become less accessible. And he was right? He knew what he was talking about. And so now we're in this era where the cheap food that's accessible is not good for you. Americans are the unhealthiest people in the developed world because of our crappy diet. And so, I've long thought that the approaches to a lot of our challenges these days is local, right? Local food production, local energy generation, things like that. And for me, these parallel really well sort of indigenous strategies, right? Going back to producing your own food, producing your own energy. And so it feels like at our market today, it's a little piece of that. These are small local farmers selling good food, good produce, teaching people how to use it.
Yeah, I have my Dream of Wild Health shirt on today, and have And I just wanted to say too, when you were talking about your father, I remember my mom, Mary. She would always say the food tastes different now. And she was born in the 20s, and so she was saying that in the 70s and 80s.
Sure, not surprising. And I've been fortunate enough to travel abroad or travel in Europe, and a lot of the markets, it'll tell you how far the food that you're considering purchasing traveled to get there. They'll say 15 kilometers or 30 kilometers. And so you're informed and you're aware of where this is coming from. And, these days it's just easier to go to McDonald's or whatever and get this food that isn't good for you. But that's what's accessible.
Yeah. Wendy became a vegan after watching what was that, Food Inc.
Sure.
That documentary, and had that family that could only afford McDonald's, and they were getting unhealthy as the minute went on, and it was crazy. But hey, we're with Robert Lilligren, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute, NACDI, here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis. And we're here with, there it is, Jaleesa McKee. And we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Four Sisters Farmers Market is more than a place to shop for delicious organic food. It's a celebration of Indigenous culture, food sovereignty, and community. Now in its 11th season, the market offers healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate local foods every Thursday from 11 to 3. Located on the American Indian Cultural Corridor off Franklin Avenue, Four Sisters Farmers Market is a project of NACDI. Every Thursday now through October, discover more about Four Sisters Farmers Market by visiting NACDI.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, this is Robert Pilot. The Minnesota State Fair is more than food on a stick. It's a chance to celebrate Native culture and voices. On August 25th, hear the Red Lake Singers and Emizaska Drum Group during Mental Health Awareness at Dan Patch Park. On August 27th, meet Native authors like Roxanne B2B Nokwe Gold and Stacy Lola Druyard, and visit the Common Table and learn how Indigenous foodways are shaping Minnesota's future. Get your State Fair tickets now at mnstatefair.org.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is on the way, bringing a better, smoother Blue line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue. Metro Transit, Renew the Blue.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
Hey, this portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACDI, in Minneapolis.
Hey,
Shout out Robert.
Hey, there you go. Right on. Hey, we're here with Robert Lilligren, our friend, CEO of Native American Community Development Institute. And I think the last 2 weeks I've been able to say NACDI correctly.
I love it. There's always room for growth, isn't there, Robert?
Yes, that's what I'm hoping for. You know, I'm a lifetime learner and hopefully growing more than the size of my waist. But so, Robert, I love having you on. We have a lot of things happening every day. And I'll give a shout out to our friends in Texas by not trying to fall for this gerrymandering, but there's more things happening now. You know, you got the governor of California talking about doing his own gerrymandering, and now I'm kind of going, this is gonna be a big hot mess possibly.
Yep. It already is kind of a big hot mess, right? And so it's just going to get messier. And, you know, and I hear these Democratic governors, these blue state governors talking about doing their version of gerrymandering. And to me, that's taking democracy out of the hands of the people and the voter and putting it in the hands of very special interests, partisan interests. And it just is so contrary to the whole concept of democracy. But pretty much everything happening right now is contrary to the concept of democracy. And so I'm not a fan of blue states or red states doing gerrymandered redistricting mid-decade, right? I mean, we have this established cadence. Every 10 years we do a census. Based on that census, we redistribute congressional seats for one thing, and then draw districts. And there's always an element of partisan interest in drawing districts. We know that, you know, that's part of the dealio. But this blatant just trying to create congressional majorities by doing this out of sequence, mid-decade, gerrymandered redistricting is shocking. And I can't believe I'm so shocked by what goes on in these partisan conversations, but it's shocking.
Well, Robert, I was reminded today when it came to our the government, the Democrats leaving Texas and going to Chicago and New York. I forgot, because there's so many things going on, that in Minnesota here we had the Democrats not showing up because the Republicans wanted to take control of the House and Senate because there was a couple elections out there, and I forgot all about that. There's so much stuff going on. Yeah,
it's a legitimate tactic, right, to withhold quorum. I've done it in my elected life as well, withhold quorum so a committee couldn't act on something that I didn't think they should be acting on. And so that's legitimate, and whatever your party is, right? And but it's drastic. And to leave your state, I have a hunch that they're not all in Illinois, although I will say Governor Pritzker of Illinois is just really being a hero right now and protecting people. I have a hunch they're a little more dispersed than that, so they're not so easy to round up. But I don't know that, to be super clear. I have no knowledge of where these Texas legislators are. But strategically, it would just make sense to not all be in one place.
Well, the governor of Texas just is sounding more like Trump and making up laws and wanting to fine people and wanting to arrest them. And it's like, you can't do that. They're in a different state.
Right. And, and then to lift up sort of what's underpinning all of this, and I would characterize it as structural or institutional racism, right? And so you have white people who feel very frightened about losing their authorities, which it's a democracy's a numbers game, right? And so as the scales kind of balance out and suddenly white voters aren't going to be the majority voters, that frightens them. And so this is, in my opinion, this looks like a fear-based response, and to try to take control by cheating. And the only way they know that they can win an election is to cheat by doing this mid-decade redistricting, this gerrymandering. And so have I shared this with you before? I don't say this in public very often, but ever since we've been kind of moving in this aggressive sort of white supremacy way of functioning in our government here. And I mean, face it, this has always been a white supremacist country, but right now it's just really come to the forefront. Since we've had a black president, I think that accelerated some of these feelings. But I have a hunch that a lot of these people who are behaving this way, this fear-based response, they are afraid that people of color will treat them as poorly as they treated people like color for the last few centuries, and that's their fear. So another response could be, let's treat everyone better. Let's acknowledge everyone's humanity and equality. But instead, no, it's apartheid, trying to promote apartheid-like government. Well, I shouldn't say apartheid-like, apartheid government.
Well, yeah, and we already, China, we're almost China right now. And I can't believe that Trump is this smart. There's too many people that are probably helping him with this. And like you said, the big fear is that in 20 years, it'll be a brown majority. Well, right now with all the voter suppression and all that, I feel like Democrats and progressives do outnumber the Republicans just as a party, and they're doing everything they can, like you said, in Texas and all these other states, and whether they're getting rid of voting places where BIPOC people vote, or districts, it's there. And I'm glad that we can sit here and talk about this and remind people, because there's things I forget that just happened 6 months ago.
Right. Well, we can talk about it for now, Robert. We'll see where this ends up in a few months, right? And I'm just sort of joking. But when you see things like the Corporation for Public Broadcasting sunsetting, all of these radio stations, a lot of them are partners, Roots Radio, but especially the tribal stations. The tribal stations, which have just been incredible. I love listening to them. But most tribal stations, I think the statistic I read is they're going to lose between 40 and 60% of their funding when the Corporation for Public Broadcasting shuts down. And are they going to be able to make that up?
I think somebody in your family heard us on a WOJB, and that's a 100,000 watt station in Wisconsin that goes to Michigan, Illinois, and of course Wisconsin and parts of Minnesota. This was a few years ago. I don't know if you remember that story.
Oh yeah. And then once I was up on the North Shore, and the community radio station there, WTIP, that does a lot of native coverage. It's really good. And I was sitting outside grooving on the lake, and my sister-in-law comes out, or maybe it's my brother-in-law, and says, "Oh, they're talking about you on the radio right now. They're talking about you." So I go in, and it was you, Robert, on the radio with them. And they're like, Robert Lilligren, we should get him on sometime when he's up here. I'd like to get to the North.
Well, I remember too, we had a discussion years ago, and it was like really, taking care of your own self. I think, you had said something to me about almost to the words of keeping your side of the sidewalk clean and not worried about other people when it comes to, what's happening in Indian country and who likes who and who doesn't like who. I remember that conversation with you deeply.
Yeah, ongoing, right? And at NACDI, especially since the pandemic and the isolation, the stay-at-home orders, I learned from one of my revered elders, Linda Eagle speaker. An indigenous approach was to take care of yourself first, then your family, then your community. And when she was teaching me that, I just pushed against her, and I'm like, oh, Melinda, we're indigenous. We care for the whole, and she said, Robert, that's the colonizer's way. She said, indigenous way is self, family, then community. And so finally, without any proof, I thought, okay, I'm going to believe her. So I really started to embrace that. I implemented it in my life, and I saw the transformational impact on my work by doing that. And so that at NACDI, we started to all kind of learn that. My coworkers at NACDI resisted it at first, just like I did, because it's not the way we're conditioned. But now practicing that for 3+ years now, it's just amazing. The level of performance that our staff has, they come to work, they're cared for, their families are cared for, and they give more than 100%, if that's possible, to their work. That's kind of the little dirty little secret, right? People might think I'm the easiest boss in the world because of this prioritization, but in reality is people perform at such a higher level.
I love it, and it's really working with your coworkers, because the person I interviewed today at the market really spoke highly of that. We did talk a little bit about and that was great to see the proofs in the pudding, and wow, really excited. Really excited, Robert. We only got like a less than a minute left here. Is there anything you want to give a shout out to? I always say that.
So just to kind of to punctuate what we're just talking about, and other organizations notice it as well. And we're all trying to indigenize our operations, and to see an example like this where it's actually working is great. The other thing I want to shout out, we don't have a show at the gallery right now. We're using that as our temporary offices and storage while we remodel our offices. So you saw that. Those are empty. So we're sitting in the gallery working, and people are coming in looking at us like we're works of art or something. It's like, we're on an exhibit. We're just working. We're so transparent. We do our work in public.
Right on. Well, hey, Robert, thanks for being on as always, and really great to see you as always, and thanks for the great words and the great work.
No, thank you. Thanks, Julissa. Thanks, Robert. It's always a pleasure.
Hey, we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. Native culture is alive and thriving at the Minnesota State Fair. The Native Roots Trading Post is back at the Wston Market, where you can support Indigenous artists and makers. And don't miss the Native Pride dancers performing on the summit stage at the Bazaar August 31st and September 1st. From music and art to food and storytelling, Native culture is everywhere at the State Fair. Tickets are just $17 through August 20th at mnstatefair.org.
Hi, Penny here from Nightingale in Minneapolis. Exciting news! During the warmer months, we're extending our charm to the patio. Imagine savoring your favorite dishes outside, surrounded by the lively energy of South Minneapolis near 26th and Lindale. And guess what? Nightingale's patio is not just a dining space, it's also dog-friendly. Craft cocktails, curated wines, and half-price bottles of wine on Mondays are still part of the deal. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with a full menu until midnight. Join us at Nightingale, where good times and great flavors come together.
Hey, this is Patrick for Zero Rest. Did you know that August is Pet Appreciation Month? Zero Rest is safe for all pets with no harsh soaps or chemicals in their cleaning products. If you have a pet like I do, you know they like to leave little bits of themselves around the house, whether that's fur or dander or worse, and you should call my cleaning heroes at Zero Rest to get things back in shape in your house. Carpet, tile, hardwood, rugs, upholstery, air ducts, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. If you haven't tried out Zero Res, or it's been months since your last deep clean, then now is the time to call. Right now you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $149. Take 15% off pet odor treatments and 50% off an air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResMinnesota.com or call 9520-RES and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
When was the last time you had your roof inspected for extreme weather and hail damage? This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to talk about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If you've noticed new roofing projects in your neighborhood, your home was likely hit by hail last summer and experienced damage. Snap Construction is helping homeowners like you, and they're the roofing specialists I trust. They are the most well-reviewed contractor in the Twin Cities and have a ton of positive customer reviews from homeowners just like you. Even better, Snap Construction's installations are backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're dealing with a qualified roofing expert. You want to work with a company that will be here for a long time after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims and will help you through the process. Do yourself a favor and get a free roofing inspection so you have the facts and peace of mind you deserve. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP, or visit snapconstruction.com.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 73. Then Friday, partly sunny with a high of 91. There's always something new and exciting coming from Chef Carrie's Kitchen at Nightingale in South Minneapolis on the corner of 26th and Lyndale. Have the famous Nightingale burger and fries, or be adventurous and try the buttermilk fried quail. Check out Nightingale at nightingalempls.com.
Hi, this is Governor Walls. Thank you for listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
Hey, this portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
I just love that tagline. Hey, we have our friend again, Kahomy Wston. And Kahomy, welcome. And here I go. I'm going to say where you're from here, so everyone keep your fingers crossed. Owa mini yo mini oko ada yapi.
Pretty good. Thank you. You're getting better each time.
You're getting better each time. That's awesome.
Good job, Jaji.
my Hinu here, Jaleesa McKee, was like going, oh my, when I was reading it to her before during the commercial, she's just like, just have her introduce herself. And it's like, oh, I've done it. I thought I did pretty good last time, but now I'm getting better. Thanks, Kahomy. And thanks again for being on and talking about what your organization's doing and what's coming up.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be back. I enjoy visiting with you guys and hanging out for a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about your organization and what they're doing, and then the event that's coming up, and in that order, because we always have new listeners.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, my name is Kahomy Wston. I am the project and program coordinator for Owamini Yomini Okoreyapi. We're a Dakota-led organization creating a future for Dakota culture. Creating a presence and using Dakota values down at the Stone Arch Bridge area, St. Anthony Falls, just to bring back the importance and our cultural heritage back.
A lot of people listening do not realize how sacred of an area that has been for thousands of years for the Lakota and Dakota people of Turtle Island. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that. I know things look a lot different than they did back then. You know, we have the dam there and things like that, but you guys are really bringing back the knowledge of what the first peoples really were doing down there and have been doing down there for thousands of years.
Yeah, it's been our home for time immemorial. This is where our Dakota people emerged from and where we were originally from. So to see the process of it being transformed into as close as we can get it to what it used to be is awesome. And it's a great journey so far. If you look at historical pictures, you can simply Google St. Anthony Falls and you'll see pictures of the area before all the construction and before Minneapolis was even a thing and before all the mills and the dam and the Army Corps of Engineers building. there. So that wasn't that long ago. Our history is very short, and when we talk about our history and our ancestors, non-indigenous people, they perceive it as being like ancient, like a long time ago, but it wasn't. It was only 100 years ago, less than 100 years ago, that
Mhm.
thriving with our culture and our people being there.
It's interesting too. We have a boat on the river. We used to be on the St. Croix, and we have a boat on the river, and we used to be able to go up there, and they closed the dam, which is good because we don't want invasive jumping carp fish coming up past there and keep it pristine. And so your work and the organization's work of preserving it and bringing it back and
Mhm.
talking about the history is so important.
Mhm.
Yeah, lots of research and studies going on, especially with our water relatives, the fish in the area, the different wildlife just in that area. Right now, there's muskrats that are coming back. I think there's like 3 of them now over at the site, which they weren't there before. And muskrats in our history, in Dakota history, and even Ojibwe and other history, they play an important role in our creation stories and just our way of life. So it's pretty cool to see all these little animals coming back to the area, all these different birds. It's a migratory stop for a lot. So
Mhm.
it's just a great natural area right there in downtown Minneapolis.
We've talked about this too, that there is positions where you can find out the history. Can we talk just a little bit about that? You have like little postings that people can use their smartphone, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah. So right now we have interpretive signs all across the bridge. And it's an audio tour basically. So if you start on one end, you'd be able to see the sign, and you can read through it too. But if you use your phone and scan the QR code, you'll be able to hear Dakota language at this site. And that was like really important for us to bring back the language to the land and to the water right there at Owamni Omni. And so yeah, it's really cool. And now we have signs that go all the way across. And it tells like different information, how to take tours at the site, who to contact. It takes you to our website. And it just gives a brief history, brief story of the area. And it's pretty cool.
It's very cool. And I was on the website a couple days ago, and that is an unbelievable website with all the information that you have on there. Can you give that website to our listeners?
Yeah, it's owaminiomini.org. You can find us on Facebook and on Instagram also at Owamini Yomini Okodayapi. And all props go to the communications team. They do a wonderful job at updating it. Anytime there's media or press release or any updates, they put it on there right away and they keep it updated. So all credit goes to them. But it's a beautiful website.
It is. It's so informative. I was really kind of surprised because I was looking, for the spelling of some things on there, and so I was just going, "Wow, I can get deep into this." Hey, there's a thing happening coming up soon with the Stone Arch Bridge. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so as you guys know, there's been construction on, we say our side of the bridge just because it touches
Oh, wow.
our area. So
Oh, wow.
there's construction on the bridge on our side over there at Owamni Omni, and they're actually done sooner than anyone expected. And so they're going to have like a grand reopening, but it's the Stone Arch Bridge Festival on Saturday, August 9th. And it starts at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. And that's pretty exciting
Wow.
for us because now our tours that we've been hosting with whoever wants to join, but we have public monthly tours also every first Saturday of the month. Since construction started, we've had to do them on the other side of the bridge, on the east side of the bridge, at Father Hennepin Park, which is okay. The river is all one, so we've still been able to do what we need to do and teach and inform people of the area and the site and the stories. But now we're able to come back to our side and really be there on our land.
I just really appreciate this because there's a group that I'm a member of that has to do with a lot of the 7 county area infrastructure, and I'm in a Native American advisory board for the Met Council. And one of the things I never knew was from the Mississippi River from Minneapolis to St. Paul, there were only 3 fish alive in 1923.
Mm.
And then the third fish died when they were counting it. And what transpired here in the Twin Cities especially is that we are cleaning it up slowly but surely and going back to its roots. So it's really exciting. And there's a YouTube video about that, and it just blows my mind how polluted with the raw sewage that was pouring in, and the river and water is life is a relative of ours, as you kind of alluded to earlier, is a relative, and it's a living thing.
That's a crazy thing to think about, that there was only 3 fish in the river at that time. Well, 2, I actually, if you think about it, since that third died.
Right.
But the effort to the collective effort of everyone wanting to just help the river, help the water and the animals that live in there, has been amazing so far, and I'm looking forward to the future of what that's going to be pretty soon.
Yeah, and it's turning into pretty quickly, and I think the organization that you're with is leading the way, and it's just nothing but a good thing. It's a win-win for anybody that's a citizen of the state or the Twin Cities. It's just a good thing.
Yeah, our efforts down there at Owamni is really gonna benefit not just Dakota people, because that's where we're from, that's where we have a lot of history there, but just everybody who lives in the area, who also, if they don't live in the area and just want to go check it out, because right now, if you go down there, there's a lot of hard edges with the lock and the Army Corps building and the parking lot and all the construction that was there. So really giving the people, and non-indigenous and indigenous alike, giving them a space where they can reconnect to the land and water, and bringing Dakota people that feeling of being home again right there in the middle of the city, is pretty crazy to think about. Crazy.
It's really crazy. And what I know about the Lakota people being Ho-Chunk, that they took our language, the Siouan language. Oh, just kidding. That the creation story on that water is from the Dakotas, and where they came from and came to be, and it's very sacred to them and to everyone that knows that.
Yeah, the area specifically where they came from at, it ties into all the waterways in Minnesota, in Minnesota. This is Dakota homelands. We're the only people that don't have a migration story to the area, and so that's what brings so much significance in the importance of us being seen, being having a presence in the area, which has been suppressed for so long.
Yeah, and it's funny too. People really don't realize this, but it's illegal for you to be living in the state along with Ho-Chunk. I don't, and because we were exiled from here in 1862 along with the Dakotas, and so we kind of, as a Ho-Chunk, we kind of wear that as a badge of courage. We don't want, we're here, and regardless of your laws. Hey, really great having you on, and thank you so much for stopping in, and hopefully see you in a couple weeks with some more updates. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're going to be right back after this short break, Jaleesa.
Yes, we are, Jaji. Stay with us.
Ho! Four Sisters Farmers Market is more than a place to shop for delicious organic food. It's a celebration of Indigenous culture, food sovereignty, and community. Now in its 11th season, the market offers healthy, affordable, culturally appropriate local foods every Thursday from 11 to 3. Located on the American Indian Cultural Corridor off Franklin Avenue, Four Sisters Farmers Market is a project of NACDI, Every Thursday now through October. Discover more about Four Sisters Farmers Market by visiting NACDI.org.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is on the way, bringing a better, smoother Blue line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue. Metro Transit, Renew the Blue.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. Native culture is alive and thriving at the Minnesota State Fair. The Native Roots Trading Post is back at the Wston Market where you can support Indigenous artists and makers. And don't miss the Native Pride dancers performing on the Summit stage at the Bazaar August 31st and September 1st. From music and art to food and storytelling, Native culture is everywhere at the State Fair. Tickets are just $17 through August 20th at mnstatefair.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is our fourth segment, Jaleesa, so I know you really enjoy this part of the show.
Oh, because we want to bring awareness to the wolf population here in Minnesota and in, Wisconsin. We're Ho-Chunk, them too, but all the wolves there.
We're going to add Kahomy back on. I see she's back on the stage, and I wanted to see if she wants to add anything. Good to see you again. I wanted to add one thing, Kahomy. We're getting you back here. We should have got you back for the haul. Maybe we'll do it again. But I love the woodwork of your house. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. We moved over here, and when we moved into the house, the lady told us that it was built in the 1850s. So it has the original woodwork floors and the trim around all the doors and stuff. So it's really nice.
Great. And your lighting is amazing. You look beautiful for our listeners. She looks stunning.
Thank you. There's a nice window right in front of me, so that helps.
Well, just to talk about wood for a second, that wood probably in your house is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the wood that we build in houses now are maybe 5 to 10 years old. And that's like a totally different, not only look, but how strong it is. And, and so I just wanted to say that's really, really, really old wood too then.
Yeah, it looks really nice too.
So do you have anything else to add? Because we just kind of shuffled you along there, and then I noticed you're still on, so I wanted to bring you back, and seeing it's live radio, we can do that, right, Lisa?
Absolutely. We want to make sure we have everything announced and shared that you want to share. Go ahead.
Yeah, so on Saturday at the Stone Arch Bridge Festival, Owamni Omni Okorapi staff will be there, and we'll be explaining and demonstrating how to play plum seed game and also moccasin games down below the bridge at our site. And we're also going to be having teepees set up there. And it's a family-friendly event hosted by the Minnesota Department of Transportation along with us. And so there's also going to be a drum group that'll be singing around 12:30-ish until closing. So food trucks, games, culture will be there on Saturday.
Awesome. I imagine my friend Barry Hand will be down there doing one of those things, right?
He'll be doing all of it.
That's right. He'll be singing, and I love Barry. I worked with Barry for many years in the high school setting.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. But thank you guys so much, and I enjoyed talking with you guys.
Yeah, and I'm glad you
Yes.
stayed on and were able to share that with us. And one more time before we let you go, too, give the website,
Mhm.
the spelling, and how people can get more informed about your organization. And I like to say, Owamni Yomini Oko Ada Yapi. Oh,
It's getting better. That's what I said.
next time you get on, it'll be even better.
I love it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
owamniyomani.org. It's OWAMNIYOMNI.org. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Kahomy, Wston, Pinagigi, thank you so much for coming on and coming back on, too. And that's some important stuff to talk about, too, for sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, cool. Wow, that was awesome. I'm glad we brought her back on, too. There was some more information that we wanted to talk about.
I want to make that clear to the listeners, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Well, what do you got going? I know you and your sister are working hard for the state fair, and
Mhm.
there's a lot of designs you're working on. And
Yeah, you too.
You guys just thank you. You guys are just doing candles too, and that's
Mhm.
exciting because when we first opened Native Roots Trading Post, it was like scarves and candles were the big seller. Do you remember
Yes,
that?
at downtown Dayton's, that was
Right.
like we couldn't keep enough
Yeah.
in stock, and that was eye-opening. Oh, that was like COVID days. I remember one day I couldn't smell, man.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a tough time. But yeah, anyway, that was great. But then also to add on the other things, like the rice is great. Other things that we've created. The
New scarf design this year too.
Yes, yep, we've got our new scarf design. And the beaters, the amazing beaters that we work with and wholesale with. We're excited to continue that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
yeah.
And I think we're going to have the games there again this year. We've been talking. We have the hats,
Mhm.
land back, which I have to order.
Yes.
Just to remind me.
I think those sold out. If you want the We Are Native Land hats, we've partnered with them, and
Right.
they went, I think, day 3 of the state fair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
last year. So yeah, we'll have a lot of great merch and great artwork.
Yeah, definitely. It's exciting, and I love this time of year. As a kid, I worked at the fair when I was like 12 or 13. I worked
Mm.
and that was the days they didn't have a lot of laws, and I would help clean the fair up until from like 2 in the morning or 12 at night till 5 in the morning, and my poor dad had to come pick me up and drop me off. And I ran into a person that I went to high school with, and he has a Prono Pup stand at the state fair,
Yes.
and you know what? I worked for him and the Prono Pup people for 3 years during high school too. So and then I worked in a restaurant out there. I've just done everything.
All the history at the Minnesota State Fair.
I've jumped the fence, and not wanting to pay and hang out at KDWB. I don't know if people are old enough to remember that, but that's where people were smoking stuff by the station at night. And then the police had to come in every night on horseback to get rid of us.
They still do that. They still have some.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm usually in bed by then now.
I was just going to say the Midway gets to be quite the
Yeah.
scene at night. So everybody be careful. But I love the Midway, especially at night, because I just love the lights and just kind of that, like, it's just that vibe, that Minnesota State Fair, just fun and adventure.
So one of the things I want to talk about every time we're on until the fair, Jaleesa, is
Mhm.
that where they can find it. Some people, the West End,
Yes.
we always just say the West End, but the West End is if you keep going, if you go towards the Midway, go to the right,
Uh-huh.
which would be north.
Yep, if you're facing the Midway.
Yeah.
So like those
Yeah.
restaurants in that would be kind of to your right and kind of to your left and kind of behind you. And then we're to the left if you're facing outward to the Midway.
And
We're
then,
to the right.
And then to find us, we're kind of by old windmill, an
Yes.
old fan and by the hill. So we're on the
Yes.
end, and we're right next to a taxidermist, so it's almost like a cowboys and Indians happening right there.
When you said that the first year, I about died. That was so funny. And then, of course, we had our big teepee up, and I was teasing you and Micah because, my brother-in-law here, he's Ojibwe, Leech Lake, shout out.
Oh,
and, him and Jaji here, y'all's host, Robert Pilot, was trying to put the teepee back up. And I just said, oh, how many Indians does it take to get the teepee back up? It was just so funny because
Screwing the light bulb too.
The storm took the teepee. But of course we had it back up, and that was fun.
That first year's storm, let's talk about that for a second.
Well, and there was somebody reminded me there was a big one last year too. And I'm going, oh my gosh. Yeah.
We closed doors.
I think I remember
during the day that time, but at night when you're talking about the
yes, that was at
over.
night. But I remember, last year we had such a storm, and our fellow neighbors that own a plant shop. So shout out to them. If you're interested in buying a plant at the state fair, they had to kind of like go into their tent and kind of, savor all the plants that they could. It was pretty dramatic. We're lucky we have more of a permanent space so we can zip up and be okay.
I swear to God, I saw Micah go off the ground though, like a kite when he was trying to zip down the middle one.
Yes.
The wind picked up. And then I hadn't, because I tore my quad tendon years ago. I haven't run in so many years, and I ran out of there.
You and Wendy were out of there.
Yeah.
We were
and we drove away. Then we went to the bathroom too.
We had to be in the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and the water
we go through quite a bit at the state fair, but we love the Minnesota State Fair, and we are absolutely honored to have Native American designs and artistry. So please come say hi to us.
Hey, if you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops. The ground in which we stand on is sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office. We're still here. We are the 7th generation. See you tomorrow.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is